I had almost missed the summer. Like I came home from the detention center like August 4th and shit. I mean, it's summertime, like the end of the summer, but still, I'm catching a vibe. Like this is the time motherfuckers is out there. This motherfuckers is rocking the motherfucking the Hawaiian sweats, the little Hawaiian short sets and shit, little silk joints. Niggas is rocking the K Swiss, the Reebok classics, uh, Delta Force, Nikes, the Jordans, all different types of motherfucking jewelry and shit. Like everybody had the little 2 finger ring, 4 finger ring. You had the fronts, you know what I mean? Top, bottom, all that shit. So I'm just getting home. Like, yo, summer youth, the fuck out of here. I ain't no summer youth job. Like, I gotta catch back up. Like, I'm watching all this shit in front of me and shit. So my cousin, I got an older cousin and shit. He was out in Massachusetts, this small ass town, yo, ducked off, called North Adams. Like the population might have been like 8,000 at that time. So he was out there doing what he doing and shit. So he had came to New York. So we was I ran into him and shit. So he like, yo, I'm out here and doing this and that, yeah, yeah, yeah. He telling me and my other cousin and shit. So he's calling out there. He on the phone with some chicks and shit out there. And my other cousin that was there with us, he get on the phone, he booked one of the chicks and shit. So she like, yo, when you gonna come out here? Like, I got my own spot. He's like, I'll come back out there as soon as he leave, we coming and shit. So I'm like, yo, I need to go with y'all and shit. So they like, yo, my cousin like, I thought you was on that the supervision shit, like because when you come home, like it's still like some juvenile parole and shit. So he's like, you know something, man, like fuck that. I'm going to my mom's crib. I'm getting all my shit, and I'm gonna meet y'all back here. You know what I mean? So that's what happened. I went, packed up all my shit. I ain't say nothing. Just packed up all my shit, bounced, meet them back. But my brother, I had a fucking like a Nike, like a silk Nike sweatsuit and shit. And I had left the top to that shit at my brother's girl house and shit. Like a few days prior to that. And my little fucking Walkman and shit. So I'm like, yo, I need my music. We were about to be traveling. Definitely need the top to my shit. So we go by Shorty crib. She like, nah, your brother, he ain't here. He around the corner at this little bar and shit. So I'm like, all right, well, just let me. So I don't know what was wrong with this broad, man. This is crazy, yo, because I had been to her house and all that shit a million and one times. With my brother, without my brother, I don't know what the fuck this bro was on. Maybe it's because my 2 cousins was there with me or whatever. But she was like, nah, I ain't giving you nothing. I'm like, yo, this shit is mine. It's like, what the fuck? She's like, yo, nah, your brother gonna have to either call me or he gonna have to come back around the corner and let me know I ain't. I'm like, all right. So I breeze and shit. Go back around the corner. Now I'm young, you know what I mean? So this spot that he in, I really can't go in there and shit because I'm really seriously like they're gonna be like, nah, like fuck out of here. You know what I mean? They know me, all that shit. So I sent somebody in to go get this nigga. So he come out. I don't know what the fuck this nigga was on either. Like he like, yo, what up? I'm like, yo, call your girl and tell her to give me the Walkman and my jacket and shit. So he like, that's what you came around here for? So I'm like, yeah, man, I'm about to go. I'm about to make a move. So he like, yo, man. He start beefing. So I'm like, yo, dude, I need my shit. Like, I don't fuck all that. Like, and see, at this time, he the big brother, but again, now I'm at this time, I done grew into my own. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not following behind you no more, nigga. I'm about to make a whole nother move, as you can see. Like, so And I just came home from the detention center. So my mind is definitely in a whole nother place of I'm not taking no shorts. Like ain't nobody playing with me. I don't care who it is. So he like, yo. So I'm like, dude, we need to go get my shit, man. Something gonna happen. Like I'm gonna bust shorty windows out of some shit. So when I said that, this nigga like swung at me. He tried to take my head off. Like he swung at me. But like I said, I'm old now. I've been doing this. This fighting shit is nothing. You know what I mean, he mad bigger than me all, but I just came up under that shit and just fucking tapped that nigga on the jaw and shit. Cause I'm a lefty. Like I was born a lefty, but when I went to school, they made me start writing with my right hand, some cruel shit. Like them niggas used to tie my fucking wrist to the fucking chair so I couldn't use my left hand and shit. So I would learn how to write with my right hand. But anyway, this nigga threw some crazy like haymaker shit trying to take my head off. So I just weaved up under that shit and tapped that nigga jaw on my way by. Like, hey, what the fuck is you doing? So he stumbled back. So now he is on fire. Like this nigga, because now people was in the bar window. It was people outside and shit. I'm his little brother. My cousin's right there. So he like, yo, this nigga fucking tried to, he charged me and like, he tried to grab me and throw me up against the shit, but I just like came right up out of my fucking shirt. Like, I just let that nigga have, like, he grabbed my shirt, I just came right up out of that shit, like, and like pushed that nigga, like, yo, it was crazy. Like, he was looking, and he was drunk too. You know what I mean? To his, you know what I mean, benefit. Like, he probably definitely was inebriated, but you know, like, I end up now I'm leaving because he's had niggas come outside, they grabbing him, they bringing my cut, everybody's like, so we leave and shit. This nigga is like, oh nah, again too. I tried to get my shirt back from him before we leave and shit. I'm like, yo, just give me my shirt, man. So he holding my shirt. Everybody's out there now, like, yo, y'all niggas. So he's like, nah, I ain't gonna do nothing to him. Just here, take your shirt. So I'm walking about, but I know this nigga, like, so I go to get my shirt, and he did the same shit again. Like, he tried to like throw a haymaker and knock me out and shit, and I just fucking snatched my shirt up out his hand and ducked up under that shit and just looked at that nigga. When I did that shit, everybody was like, ooh, because even people that was other niggas was like, yo, he could have just knocked him out. Like, talking about I could have knocked him out after he threw that stupid ass wild punch, and I snatched the shirt from him and came up under like where I was at. Like, that nigga was just an open target. If I wanted to do anything, like, he was done. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, I'm out. This grass nigga get a grab. I was like, yo, I'm done. I'm gone. Like, I contemplated going around the corner and really busting shorty windows out because that shit was crazy. Like, I couldn't believe that she didn't just give me my shit, like, hand me my shit out the door and then, you know, let me go about my business or whatever. Like, now that I went through this shit with this nigga, my brother and shit. So anyway, we leave. We get out to Massachusetts and shit. And you know, my cousin, he got his little chick, my other cousin there with the chick he's talking on the phone. I'm dolo. Like, I'm just there and shit. So they ducked off in rooms and shit. So and it's nighttime. So I just know we didn't see the town yet because we got there. It's late. You know what I mean? Like, probably like 11:30 or some shit. So the next day we get up, we go out. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, this shit, I see already. Like, this shit is definitely some small town, like, like, this shit is, I'm like, yeah, this, but I'm ducked off. I'm good. I know I'm good because definitely the supervision people ain't gonna be looking for me out here. I'm out of state anyway. Like, niggas can't come and get me and shit. Is what I don't know if they couldn't at that time. Like, I don't know how that went at that age and shit. But Anyway, I'm looking at that. So we go to the supermarket. So when we get to the supermarket, at this time, I had like I had long braid. I used to have braids, so I had like long braids in my hair, like, and not even on no funny shit. Like I had real pretty hair, like real good hair. Like my shit was fly. Like my shit was crazy. Like when I had my hair like that. So like chicks used to be see I take my shit. Chicks used to be seeing me walking like, yo, let me braid your hair. You know what I mean, whatever. But this older lady was in the supermarket and shit. So she had been watching us and shit the whole time, really watching me. So my cousin knew one shit, so she came, she started talking to him and shit. So she like, yo, who this? This and that. So he like, yeah, these my cousins, this and that. He just got out here. So she like, yeah, well, you need to come by and see me. Like telling him he need to come by and see her. Like, oh, you ain't better just come by and see me or whatever. Oh, bring them. So I'm like, I'm not thinking nothing about this shit. You know, I'm like, let's get to the money. Where the fuck is the money at that you was talking about? Niggas is getting out here. So, we go back. We start moving around. So he like, yo, we gonna go see Gloria and shit, which is this is the lady from the supermarket. And little do I know, like, Shorty's really running all of this different narcotic traffic through her crib with different peoples, but like her shit is mad discreet. Like niggas is pulling up on some. It's different. And plus the town out here is different. Like it's just, the shit was just the town. Like I said, the shit is only at that time probably was no more than 8,000 people in this town and shit. But people used to be. It's other little small little country. But anyway, you know what I mean. Shorty had a whole little setup where she was doing her thing with the narcotics. And so my cousin's doing his thing. So we go see her and shit. And she like, yo, I see you got some people out here. We need to start working together, this, that, and the third. She telling him this, that. And he like, I'm just doing my cousin different. That nigga just he just wanted to do his own thing or whatever. So we dip off from Shorty and shit. But me, I'm like, cause the whole time, like, she's really talking to me too. Like, yo, y'all could do this, you could do this, I could set this up for you, this and that. So I'm like, I double back, like, later on and shit. Cause, it's an opportunity and shit. Shorty, yo, this shit is crazy. I go to her crib. So we sitting there, we talking about the drugs and all that shit. So she comes and sits on by me on the couch and shit. Now this is a grown ass woman, yo. Like I'm like 17. Like this lady's probably like ain't no probably. This lady's in her 40s. Like she's like 41, 42 at the time. So she comes, she twirling my hair and shit. She talking. The conversation done switched to from the business we was talking about to you so tall and lanky. I bet you got big old. So I'm like, what the fuck is up with this lady? Like, and I'm a little nervous too, cause again, like this is I don't know what's up with this woman. I just got in this town. This is probably like a few days later after my cousin had originally brought me there and shit. So, man, long story short, I ends up smashing, right? She seduced me, but I end up smashing shit. Now, for me, I'm 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 like, oh shit, this is like, when you young, you like, this is a grown ass woman. Shit, like you might have fucked grown women before, like probably somebody like 26, 27, but somebody that's like super duper mature, like your mom's age, the older the other. So I'm like, yo. But for her, I didn't realize at the time, like, my youth really had her fucked up. And me and her got real close. Like, this lady started schooling me to so much shit. And I'm young, so I used to be doing dumb shit. Like, she'd be going out of town, take care of business and shit. I'll be bringing chicks to her crib, like, yeah, this is my house and shit. Like, cause I'm getting, we getting money. Like, niggas is, that's apparent. Like, that niggas know we get money. So I'm like, yo, this is my house, little bachelor pad and shit I got. And chicks is coming in, and they know her. Like, they know her in the town. So they're like, nigga, this is Gloria's house. Like, what are you talking about? Like, like, yo, shit was crazy. Yeah, like, but she used to sit me down and be schooling me, like, even after all that. Cause one time, like, some chicks I had brought that had told her, like, yo, we was at your house, this motherfucker had us at your house, and yada, yada, yada. And she didn't say nothing to me about it, right? Until she was with the chicks one day. Like, I seen her, and she was with the chicks. And she was so mature about her shit. Like, she was the realest ever. Like, she didn't call me. She had the chicks call me over there. Like, I know she told them to call me over there. I'm across the street and shit. Cause she never was up under me out in public. Or, and definitely I wasn't up under her out in public. You know what I mean? So, like, she just, like, she was mad mature. Like, she knew I was a kid and I still needed to do kid things, and she respected that shit. Like, it was crazy. But I didn't go across the street. So later on that night when I went to her house and shit, she had ran a bath and shit. She made me some food. I came in, so I'm taking my bath. She's sitting there while I'm taking my bath, talking to me and shit. So I get out, she's drying me off. All this fly mature shit, you know what I mean? And she's just talking to me. She like, yo, when you get older, like, you make sure that a woman can do all these things for you. You see how you came in and I had your shit ready for you, your bath, your food. You know, I'm taking care of your needs right now. I'm dry. She was like, you make sure that a woman can do this for you before you just be out there like that. She's like, them little girls that you saw me with earlier, they told me you had them in my house. She was like, I didn't try to embarrass you or nothing. I told them you was just my friend. You be handling business for me or whatever. But she was like, yo, you gotta make sure when you, as you, she said, cause you special. Like, it was crazy. Like, she was really talking to me. Like, she was like, yo, you special. Like, she's like, make sure that you be making wise choices with these women and make sure that they could do all these things that I'm doing for you. She said, you ever know, she said, you can come to my house at 3 o'clock in the morning. For as soon as you come in here, first thing I do is get up and ask you if you hungry. Whatever you need. She said, I'll be dead asleep. As soon as you come in, I'll wake right up. And I'll make sure you good until you go to sleep. Then I'll go back to rest. Like, she was just breaking mad shit down for me that later on in life just, you know, put the pieces together in the puzzle as far as, like, dealing with women and relationships and certain shit and things that, you know, you needed to do as a man, definitely things that a woman should be doing. Like, it was crazy, man. She was a tutor, but that was like, yeah, that was an experience.